Faith and Begor, don't you know it's almost St. Paddy's Day? And even though I got a Polish last name like Zenowitz, me mother's maiden name was Kelly, don't you know? And I have to just tell you, I got the cousins to prove it. Does anyone out there know the only difference between an Irish wedding and an Irish wake? Well, it has to be one less drunk now, doesn't it? In Dublin's fair city, where girls are so pretty, there lived a fair collie named Molly Malone. She drove a wheelbarrow through streets wide and narrow, crying Cockles and Mussels, alive, alive, oh. Now, don't you know that I have to tell a few of the Irish jokes on Irish St. Paddy's Day, or else, what are we, Faith and Big Girl, what are we doing? So, there was the old Irish priest named Father Sweeney from the old country. He had a maid in the rectory named Nora, and she'd come running in and she'd say things like, Father, my TV is broken. He'd say, Nora, I told you before, it's not your TV, it's not mine, it's ours. The parish took up the collection and paid for it. It belongs to everybody. It's our TV. She said, all right, Father. And then a few days went by and she went, Father, my vacuum cleaner's broken. He said, Nora, I told you before, it's not your vacuum cleaner, it's not mine. It's ours. The parish took up the collection, they paid for it, everything belongs to everybody, it's ours. And she said, oh, yes, Father. He said, try to remember that now and get it straight in your head. And she said, Father, I'll try. And then a few days passed on and he was in a consultation with the bishop. And she came running through the door and she said, Father. And he said, what is it now? And she said, there's a mouse under our bed. Alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, cried Cockles and Mussels, alive, alive, oh. Crying Cockles and Mussels, alive, alive, oh. Now, Father Sweeney was called from Boston to New York to go to the conference of all the priests and the bishops. And, well, he was a little late, he was going very fast, and so the state trooper pulled him over. And he said, Father, do you know how fast you are going? He said, oh, no, I'm not so sure about that, my son. And he said, and is that an open bottle of wine on your passenger seat? He said, oh, saints be praised, he's done it again. Her father and mother were fishmongers too. They drove a wheelbarrow through streets wide and narrow, crying Cockles and Mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying Cockles and Mussels, alive, alive, oh, crying Cockles and Mussels, alive, alive, oh. Well, once he got now to the city of New York, and he was there, and he was trying to get across the street, and the big Irish cop was standing there, and he said, now let all the pedestrians go, all the pedestrians. And Father Sweeney stood straight on that curbside and didn't move a lick. And then the light changed again, and the big Irish cop said, now all the pedestrians move, traffic stops,